city of Pasadena, we are about 24 square miles. We have about 150,000 people in this town. Daytime population hits about 350,000. The city runs a little bit faster and bigger than most cities its size, which is really a challenge. We have a helicopter section, planning section. We do have a gang intelligence unit, as well as specialized units, bicycle teams, neighborhood policing, and homeless outreach.
The SWAT team started in early 1997. We went from the Neighborhood Crime Task Force to the Special Enforcement Section.
We had 20 folks on the team. We had, I think, 2 MP5s, a couple pump shotguns, and the rest of us ran handguns.
The early days, we were learning new tactics. We were spending time with LAPD and other police agencies, learning many of the tactics that we needed. And we started to train together regionally, probably into the early 2000s. We've really developed them not just into a local police resource, but a regional resource.
9/11 was probably one of the biggest changes as far as how we saw things. The usual neighborhood violence is one thing, gang violence is another thing, critical incidents is another thing, but to think of terrorism on such a large scale was frightening.
So the Rose Parade and the Rose Bowl are 2 of the largest events in the world, and for both of those to take place in a city the size of Pasadena is actually pretty amazing. The fact that we are the size that we are and are able to provide the security that we do for those events are I think, second to none.
We can't pull this off without contracted cities. They come in and they help supplement the resources that we need to make sure that everyone coming to the events are safe, everyone leaves the way they came.
We have over 2,000 security experts out here and law enforcement personnel, the biggest of which is the Sheriff's Department, who provide us with over 1,000 deputies. And we have another 1,000 volunteers that work the parade to also give us more eyes and ears to what's happening. It's not so much of the emergency plans that we have, it's trying to catch these red flag events prior to them happening.
We've been able to grow leaps and bounds, maybe more than some other smaller or medium-sized departments comparable to us, due to a relationship we have with Aardvark Tactical. They have been there from the very beginning and have continued to be a call away to help us with whatever needs we might have.
I remember the very first day I was introduced to Aardvark. I met John Becker, who had this grand plan, this grand scheme of providing the best equipment, the best everything for tacticians, for tactical teams. And that goes back a long time, the 26 years plus that I've known John Becker.
I look back at the history with Aardvark and where we've gone with that relationship and what they offer us. And I can tell you right now that Aardvark over all these years had been there right from the beginning with us. When we started to have very large organized protests, it was an unusual place for us to have to plan tactically. And so Aardvark was with us in the beginning when we didn't have all that equipment. They would loan us some of the equipment and we'd give it back, but we had it.
You know, they provided us everything from entry vests to tactical robots to now we're moving into the drone program, and Aardvark's been there the entire way. So we love having that relationship. One of the other things that Aardvark does for us is it allows us to reach out and have access to teams across the country. John offers tactical debriefs at his own facility where our guys can go and listen to folks, not just from around the country, but from around the world. And he really does provide a valuable resource so that our guys can go and learn.
Having an open relationship with John has allowed us to T&E everything. He's allowed us to test things, input, feedback, back and forth, and keeping it real. And we've succeeded partly because of our relationship with Aardvark.